9 a.m. in London, and welcome to TradeCaptain.com. My name is Alejandro Zambrano, Chief Market Analyst with Amana Capital, and we're going to take a look at the main not main currency, but actually main cryptocurrencies. That's what I want to say. And this is the live trading room you're watching right now. If you're watching us on YouTube as well, you're much welcome, or even on Periscope. We should be live on Periscope any second now. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to take a look at the main um, currencies like the Bitcoin, Ripple, Neo, and provide you guys with a quick overview really of what's going on with the more or less the 10 biggest coins. So as you probably know, with Bitcoins, there's like hundreds of them. Here are some that you can find on Coin Market Cap, and they usually show the biggest 100. And this list changed. You'll have one coin here, and then it goes away. So there's not just one cryptocurrency that people invest in and trade. There are a lot of them. And what I'm doing here is I'm focusing on, we're not going to cover in all of them, but we're going to provide you guys with a quick overview of the big 10 ones, which are these ones you can see here. Now, before we start, as always, I need to stress that trading financial markets is unfortunately risky, and trading these bitcoins is definitely risky just because the value of the coin depends really on the value that people give it. So if someone thinks that Bitcoin is worth, 7,000, and a majority of people think so, then it will be worth 7,000. But if people from one day to another say, you know what, this is not correct, it should be 3,000, and everybody agrees it should be 3,000, then yeah, it'll be at 3,000. So there's no real utility of a lot of these coins yet. So they're much more volatile than established currencies, where we know that if we have $100 in our hand, we'll get something for that, and it's unlikely that we won't get that. Uh, I mean, the trust in the dollar is so strong, and the same needs to develop in these coins. Now, if you want to send me questions, just use the chat box here. This is a YouTube live chat, so you can write to me here directly. The alternative is that you just send me messages via Skype or Twitter, and that's it really. Um, Let me see here if we can begin then. So we're gonna begin with the most famous one. This is Bitcoin. So this is a daily chart. Now, the best way to actually trade these markets I've seen so far is just to go with the trend. This is really what makes these interesting because they're the trend really strong with these markets. As you can see here in the beginning of the year, the market was pretty much at 1,000. Now it's at 7,000. So it's a 700% return just this year. And because the movements are so strong, I am using a logarithmic scale. Now you can see here, this is a very particular currency because it's the first one. And when we'll definitely have episodes where the market just trades sideways for several months, but many times on dips, people go long. And it's a very strong trending market. So this is a trending market, so it could be traded the same way as we can trade any other market that is trending. If you trade currencies, you know what I'm talking about. And it's very straightforward. So on this daily chart, we took out this high here, which was the previous all-time high, and the market is now at 7,050. And one way of figuring out really where the market should be trading in these conditions where we never been higher, is to use the pivot point indicator. So I like to use the monthly pivot point indicator because it's far more stable. So according to the monthly pivot point indicator, the market could rally all the way up to 8,000 in this month, the month of November, and it could technically be trading as well at 3,350, but I doubt that's going to happen. So this is the bullish trend. This is the last breakout on the daily. What we can do now is we can use the 1 hour to try to trade with this trend. So this is the 1 hour, and here you can see that we're creating higher and higher lows, and you have this low here, I'm finding this the most interesting. You see, you have some sort of a double bottom here and then a push to the upside. And then you have the 4-day EMA down here at 66.72, which is probably be where I would like to go long. You see, sometimes what happens, the currency moves down to the level and it doesn't always touch it. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, but the idea is to buy around that number. So if we use this as the key level, so we'll be bullish about 62.96, then we will look for some sort of a pullback. So Fibonacci that is, from the low to the high gives us these three different levels. And the idea really is that we look to buy on a dip. So 69, 67.90, 66.50, with the ideal entry probably being around 66.75. So we're looking for that little pullback, which could easily happen. I mean, the market was trading here at midnight, um, London time, so it's not, well, what is it, like 9 hours ago, 10 hours ago, and then for this to potentially continue to head up higher. So again, this is a short-term strategy. It's not the safest one because the more short-term you are, the more likely is it that the levels we identified are wrong. But you can see here that the market's creating higher and higher and higher and higher lows. And there's several lows to work with here, but I decided to work with this level here, which is the 62.96 level. And I think that is really what's defining this little short-term uptrend. Now, this market, the first pivot point level for the month is at 7,200, so we can touch that level. And if we take out this level, we'll probably go to 8. Now, when we trade, it's all about the risk-reward ratio. So that is why I'm looking for this pullback, because if I go long right now, and then yes, if it goes up, we'll make 13%, but at the same time, we're going to be risking about 10. So we are, if it goes up to 8,000, that is the case, right? It's not 100% certain it will do. I mean, it's more likely it's going to go up to 7,400, 7,600, then it's going to go up to 8,000 because that's just further away. So what traders try to do when they trade the markets is they try to go for what we call a good risk reward ratio. So on a pullback, we're going to risk about 5.78%. And then if it goes up just to the R2, we make 8. And then, of course, if it goes up to 7,600, 7,800, we start to make 16. So this is 16.89% return versus a potential risk of about 5.5. Now that's a good risk reward ratio. Because 15 divided by 5, well, that's 3, right? So you're going to get 3 times your risk. So this is the short-term little outlook for the price of Bitcoin. Let me just save this chart so we can upload it on the home page a little bit later. Now, if you're looking at it from a longer term perspective, you're looking to get a good entry and keep it for, more than a few days, then you would do something a little bit different. Instead of focusing on these short-term levels, you would see this whole high, so the previous all-time high of 62.96, you see all of this as an entry zone, because sometimes what happens, resistance, so these highs turn into support. So the market could easily just move down to these levels, and then from these levels, the market goes up to 8,000. And then you're focusing on 53.67, so you have this level down here. So again, it's about that risk reward ratio. Here, the risk would be about 14%, sorry, 14%, and then it goes up maybe 26. And that's a longer term trading. But if you're scalping, it's the little setup I just showed you. If you're more of a longer term trader, then you're looking at these big levels. And this is probably what a lot of the hedge funds are doing. People that want to hold a position, they're working with these daily lows. Why? Because this little setup here, some news about Bitcoins may happen and you break these levels very easily. But these big levels on the daily, they're much harder to take out. Now, I'm going to show you something really interesting that I wasn't fully aware of when I started to watch these markets. So this is Ethereum. Ethereum is one of these currencies and coins that Amana Capital will most likely introduce in the next few weeks. you have Ethereum in your demo platform. Now, Ethereum here, look at this. There's some sort of a trend. You know, people were very busy buying this in the beginning of the year. I mean, the market has rallied by silly amounts. It's up with, from the beginning of the year, it's up with 3,411%. So that's more than Bitcoin percentage-wise. Now, what is interesting is that here the market hit a high. You know, it's really struggling to trade higher. And this is just Ethereum, but this is Ripple, another very famous coin. Look at Ripple. They all kind of trade the same, Ethereum and Ripple. There's no really interested to buy this currency or the Ethereum right now. And this is, let me see here, Bitcoin Cash. Look at this. Again, there's not a huge demand for this market. Okay, when it goes up, you know, if you buy at the right level, maybe give it a year or two, it might double. But at the same time here, uh, this is Bitcoin Cash. The market is down with 56%. And then this is Litecoin. Here again, Litecoin is trading very, very differently. As you can see, this not like a real strong demand in this market. Neo is doing quite well, holding up at least. This is Bitcoin Connect, which is a little bit like Bitcoin, like very patchy price action, but it's clearly going up. And from April here, this market is up with about 760%. This is NEM. Let me see, NEM. Yes, you got NEO and you got NEM. So NEM is on number 9 on market cap. Here, NEM is as well. You know, people are avoiding this like the plague. And then this is Monero, which has a nice healthy uptrend, but pulling back a bit. And then this is Dash, which as well has a healthy uptrend. So I find it interesting that at least half of these currencies on the top 10 list are really not that interesting from a pure trading perspective. Um, People are not genuinely interested to go long. The market goes down, and of course, people buy, but it's very, very fragile. It's not really markets that people decide to buy heavy as they do with Bitcoins. So if you're looking for Bitcoin characteristics, then you have Bitcoin, of course. Um, then you have, let me see here, you got Neo. Neo, I find that interesting because from a trading perspective, if we take out this high here, which is 38.71, this market can go up. You have Bitcoin Connect, which is really, really just pointing higher. And then you have Dash. So you have Dash, Bitcoin Connect, and you have Monero here. Bitcoin Connect, Dash, Bitcoin Connect, that are interesting. A lot of the other ones here, Bitcoin Cash, Ripple, there's not too much happening here right now. You can watch them, and let me give you the levels to watch. So this is Ethereum. Break 311, and this market can head up higher. For now, it does look to me that it wants to go down lower. It wants to potentially revisit these lows down here. This is Ripple, which looks to me that it's going to target these lows here at 0.14. That's a potential decline here of 21%. And if we take out 0.14, which is this level here, then most likely down to 0.6. So this looks to go down, and fortunately we don't have a solid high, but maybe if we start to break above 21.18 here, this could potentially bottom out. Here is Bitcoin Connect, or Bitcoin Cash, sorry. Here, this market is bullish, but it's at support, sorry, but we need to end this downtrend. So what you're watching here is that you're watching this high here, which is the 402 level. Take this out, and this market could potentially move up higher. This is Litecoin, and Litecoin is like Ethereum and Ripple testing its lows. It looks to me that it wants to head to the low, uh, and if we take out this high here, which is the 59.31 level, this market could potentially head up higher. Might do something like this. So yeah, but for now, it looks to me that it wants to drift down lower, maybe all the way down to $38. Here's Neo. Neo as well, it's kind of boring, not much happening here. We need to take out this high here from October. Until that happens, it's probably going to drift down lower. And this is Bitcoin Connect, which is bullish, and there's not too much trading in it as I can see. But if you're lucky, it has some sort of a dip, maybe to 4,437. That might be where people start to get interested again around these levels. And then this is NIM, XM, sorry, XM. And here the market looks to me that is uh, most likely going to continue to just head to the downside, maybe 0.11. And here, XMR or Monero looks to me as well that it just wants to head down lower. But I really like this Monero. I like this down, up, down, up. You can see that people are actually trading this. Um, so for now, I mean, capped by 104. But if it goes down, maybe at lower levels here, maybe 46, 40, I think traders might look to go long again. And then you have Dash, which needs to take out 342. Until that happens, I suspect this market could drift down lower, maybe to 164. And that concludes today's market updates. We covered a lot of markets, and I gave you guys the levels to watch, the short-term levels to watch for Bitcoin, give you the big picture levels to watch on Bitcoin as well. We looked at all these markets and we realized that not all coins are the same. There's some coins that people don't care about. There's no real interest to go long. But then there's some other coins that have a healthy uptrend, and I showed you which ones they were. And those are interesting. We just need to, break these different levels that I highlighted to you guys. Now, what we're gonna do next, gonna see if we have any questions. If we don't, that's fine. UK Kenny, thanks so much for joining us this morning. I hope you're doing well. So if you guys have any questions, just use the little chat box. The alternative is that you can just um, send me a message via Twitter. Okay. All right, so I think we're gonna wrap things up because I don't have any questions here. If you wonder how to ask questions, you just need to create a YouTube account. Very straightforward. If you are on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to us at tradecaptain.com on YouTube. Very straightforward to just subscribe to this, and then as soon as we do a video, you get a notification. Of course, you can disable this notification as well if you don't like it. Now, this is today's cryptocurrency outlook. We'll be back next Thursday for the cryptocurrency outlook. On Wednesdays as well, you're most welcome to join me for the Forex market outlook. And throughout the week as well, we do some other videos as well. If you're into currencies, then most likely we'll do non-farm payrolls webinar on Friday. That will be at 12:30 GMT or 8:30 a.m. Eastern. You just need to pop in here and follow us. Or actually, just pop in here right then to this page. For more about this, you'll read about it here. Guys, have a brilliant day, and I'll see you guys next week for the cryptocurrency. If I don't see you guys on Friday for the NFP update. Have a great day. Cheers.